What's up, guys? Chuck here, back with another video. Today I'm showing off my 2019 Gibson SG bass. Got this it's like last year off of Reverb, used obviously, and it's a pretty cool bass. I kind of like this a lot. As I think it's one of the YouTubers we're talking about, bass YouTubers or whatever. They were like you should always have like a P bass, a jazz bass. You know, those are like your staples and stuff. And then you need another type that's kind of like more of like a character bass. And that's how I kind of want to think this one is. Kind of fits in as like you know, a bass that has like a very unique sound, and it does that very well. So let's see what this thing's all about. So it's a mahogany body. It's almost got kind of like a mini Thunderbird pickup here. A mudbucker shaped object. From what I understand, that they don't use the original mudbuckers anymore. Something like a sidewinder is inside here, but you still get the same type of mudbucker sound out of it. Got a rosewood fingerboard, block inlays, Grover tuners on the back, mahogany neck, set neck on the body here, solid black finish all the way on the back here. I added the thumb rest from Zero Mod here. I really like that a lot. Of course, it's got the 3-point bridge. We'll get into that later. And yeah, it's volume for the mudbucker, volume for the bridge pickup, and then the tone. And yeah, it's a short scale bass, 1.6 inch nut here. According to the spec sheet, it says it's made out of Tectoid, whatever that is. It's doing its job. I don't really have any complaints with it. And yeah, so it sounds pretty good. So let's check it out, how it sounds with everything fully open. It's got a real, with everything fully on, very thick, full sound out of this. Like the applications of this, you know, if you're doing like a real like heavy band, this will take up some space in the mix here. So, you know, it sounds really good. Let's see how it sounds with the pick. Figure out a pick riff eventually to show off with that. Regardless, it sounds really good with the pick. Now we're going to check out this mudbucker thing here. So I'm going to take this off, the bridge out, leave the tone fully on. Let's see how that sounds. the mud in it. Very a lot of low end, not a lot of definition in it. Um, Practical aspects of using that, if you're playing like some old school, like 60s stuff that fits in, like the Animals. I don't even think Cream usually plays with a little higher end, but hear how bad sounds with it. So I don't usually use the Mudbucker by itself very often. Um, One of my favorite things to use just a Mudbucker for is kind of like a this is using round wounds right now, but it kind of can do like a stand-up bass type of thing. Um, if you put flats on here, you probably get a lot closer. So let's hear how it goes. Like walks around like yeah, it's really cool. You can sit around and mess with that for a while. um let's take that out, put the bridge in. Let's go back here for a second. So if for some reason it's not muddy enough for you, you can take the tone out. Hear how it sounds with 50%. Take it all the way out, you can get the muddiest mud out of it. Yeah, a lot of mud in there. Playing with the pick with the little high end one, it gives you a little bit more of a like with the tack, it kind of gives you a little sound in itself. Not something you would use very often, but it's there. It's got like, you use the Mudbucker on like lots of the classic rock tunes, and if you're trying to do like a stand-up bass vibe, this will get you in the ballpark of it. So let's go to the bridge. Put the tone back on. I think it's got some good body to it. It's not it's obviously not gonna do the jazz bass thing. Um, got a little more you know, fullness to it. I do like using that occasionally, um, especially if you roll some of the tone off. You can get a little more low end in it, and it's got like I don't know how to describe it, but it's got a vibe to it. That's what this bass is. It's a vibe. So. Yep. And taking the tone all the way off. Yeah, so when you take the tone off, it's got still a lot of low end in it. You know, really, I still think usable in some instances. So this bass kind of gets labeled as you know, not very useful or not flexible as far as what genres you could play it in. And you know, it does have its limitations and stuff like that. But then you know, I've taken it out to a couple of gigs, and I got kind of like the sweet spot here as far as where, you know, if you're playing like a full set, you set in this like sweet spot here, or tweak it to your liking, and you know, although it may not necessarily sound like a P bass or a jazz bass, it will sound really nice, you know, running through a PA and through your bass amp, and it sits in a band mix very well, even though it's not necessarily what you would normally expect, you know, from a P bass or something like that. So that sweet spot for me is I usually take the Mudbucker to about like an 8, and I roll off the bridge maybe like to like a 9. Let's see how that goes. So something like this. So it's you get that into a PA, you're getting a lot of good solid low end information in there. High ends being a little more accented in this case, and you know, it sounds just really good. I mean, every time I take it out, it's just like I'm surprised how awesome it sounds. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, so it does lots of little things well. this is I think it's a fun bass. You know, obviously you have the Gibson um, things you got to deal with. You know, 3-point bridge. You know, you're trying to set your you know, your action or a little bit or string height, and because you're dealing with like kind of like a plane of existence here, you know, it's kind of hard to get this really low. I usually play with a little bit higher action, so I'm not bothered by it. Um, you can get other bridges, Babbitt's and hip shot. At some point, I'll probably do that. Um, you know, other thing I don't really like, you know, they neck dive. You know, got yourself a good strap. You know, like a you know, a suede one. It's not like a really thick one that I usually use, but it it doesn't like drag when you're drag off your shoulders or anything like that. So when I wear this, you know, it'll want to go down to like maybe about here, but it'll stay put. Um, the biggest issue for me why I don't usually take this out to a bunch of gigs, and I've heard theories on how you can fix it. So this the strap lock button right here, when you wear it around the strap, has this tendency to kind of do you're wearing it and it kind of wants to do like this. And it's like so annoying. Like, yeah, I wish they would have did it here. Now there's people have talked about putting a strap button here on themselves. I'm not doing that. My workaround for it is when I'm playing, I'm just kind of like using my arm here to kind of keep it closer to the body. Otherwise, once I let it go, it wants to go out of here. That's annoying. I wish they would fix that. Another thing is with the gloss on the back of the neck here. You're playing, you know, summertime and you're sweating or it's humid out. This will get sticky. Situations like that, I kind of I have rubbed the finish off lightly. It'll eventually come back. That's what it's doing right here. You barely can tell I even took anything off of here. But the finish is starting to come back. I will take like some rubbing alcohol and one of those green Scotch Brite pads and just kind of scrub this out. It'll get a little discolored, but then as you're playing it, it'll turn black again. So yeah, I would you know, these things go for I think there's like $17.99 brand new today. The new ones, they come with a ebony board instead of rosewood, and you can get this in cherry also. And I don't know if I would pay $17.99 for it. You know, if you unless you really want like a new one, you know, I would probably just scout the used market. I got this one for like $1,100. On average, you're going for about $1,300. You know, semi-recent ones are, and if you're going like vintage route, you know, they're gonna be more expensive. I dig this bass. Obviously, it's not for everybody, you know, but if you're looking for like a good short scale, and it's got its own unique sound, you know, there's nothing that I own that sounds like this. And then also, like, you know, it sounds really good in the like classic rock band type of thing. So like, you know, when I take this out to gigs, I get compliments all the time how the bass sounds, and that's awesome. So yeah, pick one up if you want or don't. I will be dropping another video shortly with a another bass. that I wanted to show off, and that should be coming within the next week or so.